The oak tree stood at the edge of the park like a sentinel watching over time, with a trunk wide enough to hide a small car behind and roots that curled like ancient fingers into the earth. It was the only piece of the old town that hadn't changed. I used to call it mine. Every Saturday morning, I sat under it with a thermos of lukewarm coffee and a paperback novel. I was just another face in a town that hadn't offered me much beyond minimum wage jobs, fleeting friendships, and the silent companionship of that gnarled old tree. I was there like always when he showed up. At first, I didn't recognize him. The suit was too crisp, the shoes too polished. No one dressed like that here, not unless they were coming from a funeral or fleeing a past. He looked around as if expecting someone, then noticed me and offered a polite nod. I nodded back, unsure whether to feel invaded or intrigued. Then he walked up to me. "Mind if I sit?" he asked, gesturing to the grass. I blinked. "It's a public park." "That it is," he said, smiling faintly. "Still, I like to ask." He lowered himself beside me, careful not to let the fabric of his slacks touch the mud beneath the shade. His cologne, something earthy and expensive, mingled with the scent of damp leaves and old bark. "Nice tree," he said, like a man trying out words in a foreign land. "Yeah." I replied, "It's been here longer than the town," he chuckled. "Is that right?" Silence sat between us for a moment. "You from around here?" I asked. He didn't answer right away. Then, "Used to be, long time ago." Something about the way he said it tugged at a memory I couldn't place. A boy in a denim jacket with holes at the elbows, hands always in his pockets, eyes that didn't match his smile. "You're not," I started, leaning closer. He turned toward me. His eyes hadn't changed, gray-blue like a storm over the lake. "Elijah Carter," I whispered. He smiled then, truly smiled, and I felt the years crash into me like waves. "Hi, Grace." He was the boy who sat 2 rows behind me in 10th grade, the one who always looked like he hadn't eaten that day. Rumors swirled about his dad being a drunk and his mom long gone, but Elijah never said a word. We bonded over books, weirdly enough. One day he saw me reading To Kill a Mockingbird, and the next he left a dog-eared copy of The Catcher in the Rye on my desk with a sticky note. "You'll like this. It's angry." After that, we'd talk sometimes. Not much, just enough. Then one day he was gone. No goodbye, just disappeared. Now here he was. "A billionaire, apparently you look," I began, trying not to stare. "Different," he offered. "Rich," he laughed, a low, honest sound. "Yeah, that part's true." "How?" I asked. "Silicon Valley," he said. "I built a company, sold it, then built another." "Just like that." "I Googled you once," I admitted, cheeks reddening. "Years ago, anything interesting, just articles about the next big tech disruptor. You never looked happy in the pictures." He glanced up through the branches. "That's because I wasn't, so," I said, sipping my coffee. "Why'd you come back?" He hesitated. "I wanted to see the tree again." I raised an eyebrow. "I used to sit under it when I had nowhere else to go," he said. "Even back then, it made me feel grounded. Safe, maybe. That struck something inside me." I nodded. "I bought it," he added casually. I nearly choked. "You bought the tree?" "Well, technically, the land around it, the park. I had to make a donation to the city to prevent it from being sold off for development." "Wait, they were going to?" "Yeah, turn it into condos or something." "But I remembered you always used to say the town would fall apart without the old oak." I hadn't known anyone remembered that, let alone him. "So you saved it," I said softly. "I thought it might save me back." Over the next few weeks, Elijah kept showing up under the tree. At first, we didn't talk much. He'd bring coffee, real coffee from the cafe he was quietly helping reopen, and sometimes a book. Other days, he brought his laptop and worked in silence while I read. But the space between us slowly shrank. One day he asked, "Why'd you stay here, Grace?" I shrugged. "My dad got sick. I was going to leave after high school, but then my mom passed and he needed someone." "Is he still?" "No, he died 2 years ago." "I'm sorry." "Don't be. I had time with him. That's more than most people get." Elijah looked away then, and I wondered if he was thinking about his own parents. I didn't ask. Some ghosts like their silence. He broke it, though. One cloudy afternoon, as we watched squirrels dart through the underbrush, he said, "My dad used to hit me every time he drank," which was always. I looked at him, unsure what to say. "I used to run here," he said. "To this tree, I'd press my back against the trunk and pretend I was inside it, untouchable." "Did it help?" He nodded slowly. "It helped enough." Despite everything he had, Elijah moved through the town like someone who'd lost something. Maybe he had. Maybe he was still trying to figure out what that something was. He didn't drive a flashy car or wear gold watches. He donated to the local school quietly, funded the community center's renovation, and anonymously paid off the hospital's equipment debt. But people talked. This was a small town, after all. Everyone wanted to know why the billionaire had come back and why he was always seen with Grace Monroe, the girl who never left. "He's slumming it," I heard one cashier say. "He's trying to make up for his past," said another. But I didn't care, not really. Because under the tree, we weren't billionaire and waitress. We were Elijah and Grace, the boy who escaped and the girl who stayed. It happened in late autumn. The air was cold and leaves painted the ground in golds and reds. I brought him a scarf I'd knitted the year before. He laughed when I wrapped it around his neck. "Now you look like a tech bro with a heart," I teased. "I'll take that," he said, eyes twinkling. We sat close that day, maybe because of the cold, maybe not. "I never thought I'd see you again," I said. "I never stopped thinking about you." The words hit like thunder in a clear sky. "I wanted to write," he continued. "I even did, but I didn't have an address and then things got complicated. I figured you'd forgotten me." "I didn't," I said. "Not really." He leaned in then, just slightly. I met him halfway. The kiss was gentle, like the wind between branches. Familiar, right, winter crept in, and with it came a sense of urgency. Elijah was only supposed to be in town for a few months. He had a life in San Francisco, board meetings, investors, a penthouse view of the bay. I had none of that. "You could come with me," he said one night. I looked at him. "To California?" "Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll find you a job, or you can study again if you want. Anything, just be with me." It was tempting, but so much of me was tangled in the roots of this town. The library where I first read Steinbeck, the diner where my dad and I used to eat pancakes on Sundays, the tree. "I don't know if I belong in your world," I admitted. "Grace," he said, taking my hand, "you're the only thing in this world that's ever made me feel like I belong." I didn't decide right away, but one snowy morning I walked to the tree and found him waiting, as always. He had a picnic blanket despite the chill and a box. "What's this?" I asked. He opened it to reveal a ring. "Elijah, I'm not asking you to change your life for me," he said. "I'm asking to build one with you wherever you want. Here, there, anywhere." I didn't cry often, but I did then. "I never thought someone would come back for me," I whispered. "I never thought I'd leave without you," so I said yes. Not because he was a billionaire, but because under that tree I had found something rarer than money. Home. We didn't move to California. Not right away. Instead, Elijah bought a small house near the park and stayed. He built a co-working space in the old post office and brought remote workers into the town. Jobs followed. The library got a renovation. The diner reopened. And every year, on the anniversary of our first meeting under the tree, we sat beneath its wide branches and read to each other. Books, love letters, sometimes silence, because some things don't need words. Sometimes a tree and a memory are enough to build a forever.